Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. I thought I would film a flip through of, or not, excuse me, not a flip through. I thought I would film a plan with me. I already did a flip through. That was the last video. A plan with me of my March setup. So I thought I'd bring you along as I set this puppy up for the month of March. Now, if you watched my last video, you know that I had a debate as to which one of these planners I was going to use for the month of March. And I asked you guys to vote, but I haven't posted that video yet, so I don't know the answer to your vote. But I have already made up my mind, and I may change my mind. But here's what we're going to do for right now. I'm going to move into the Filofax original, which is what I told you I thought I would probably do for the month of March. So that's what I'm going to do. So we're going to move into this planner and get my March pages set up. So hold on, let me open up my rings over here. Open up my rings here, and let's start moving some things across. Then we'll do the setup. This is the beauty of having rings. I can change my cover as much as I change my mind or my mood. And I'm not committed to one cover and one setup forever and ever, amen. Might be committed to being crazy trying to get these moved in here. These little Filofax pocket pages never go into the rings right, and then everything else gets jacked up. So we're just going to take a second here and let me move this all over. Now this should work. There we go. You are supposed to be in the front. I'll fix you later. Why is it that when you do this on your own, it all moves over perfectly fine? And then you turn on the camera and you're going to film yourself and everything decides to be contrary and cantankerous. I don't understand why this is this way. Why can't my planner cooperate with me? Okay, there we go. That's half of the battle. Let's get the rest of this moved in. And I need to take February out because I don't need to have all of that in there either. So here's another pocket page that will be contrary and cantankerous. Let me get that in. Then I can add my paper. Maybe. There we go. Okay, let me flip back here and take February out. So since today's Sunday the 27th, I'm going to leave that last weekend, but I am going to take that part out just because I don't need that bulk. These rings are a little bit smaller. That'll give me a little bit extra room. Now I can go back. Where did that? This goes right here in the front. Okay. Now, the rest of the stuff that I have in here, I need to move. So this is a card that my husband gave me back in 1988, and it has been in every planner since he gave it to me. And this reminds me of my children, my youngest and my oldest. It's a Cocoa Daisy thing, but I carry it with me everywhere because it reminds me of them. So it's like I have all three of them with me all the time when I have that in my planner. I don't think I'm going to use this blue Sarasa. I may use a different Sarasa, but for right now, I'll stick that in here. And I bought this used, so this was already stretched out. If I had bought this brand new and it wasn't stretched out, I probably wouldn't use this pin loop, but because I bought it used and somebody else had already stretched it, I just continue to use it. As a matter of fact, I probably will use this tool because it'll go in there better. The little catch is a little bit higher. And then the rest of this stuff is mostly things like stamps and note paper and stuff like that. A Band-Aid because you never know. Coupon. I have a little bit of stuff back here in the back, but I probably won't take it out. It's not anything I have to have with me. I'm trying to get more and more minimalist with my what I carry in my planner, just not carry so much stuff around. So this little zipper pouch, this is what this is for. I got this when I started carrying these originals, and it's to put the things that I have in my zipper pocket in the originals that don't have so many pockets. And then usually what I do with this note paper is I take some repositionable adhesive, and if you, some of you might be offended at this, but because you might think I'm damaging the leather, but you can see it's never been damaged. But I run the repositionable adhesive here, and then I stick this right here, and I have a notepad, because otherwise I'd have to trim the notepad to fit in these holes, and who wants to do that? So that gives me a notepad. Now this is the February Cocoa Daisy paper. I'll probably swap this out with something that's more green themed for March, so I'll just sit this off to the side. So anyway, put my February pages aside. Now we're ready to talk about March. Make sure I'm still in frame since I've been moving things around. So I'll move this out just to kind of give you a quick look. This is an old Project Life page marker, by the way, that I cut down and hole punched to fit in here. And I always have my month and my week at the bottom, and then my day at the top. That's just how I like it. But yeah, that's what that is. So here's my March month at a glance from DIY Fish. Again, I color code. So pink is my youngest daughter, purple is my oldest daughter, blue is my husband, yellow is related to school for the girls, and then anything for me, I don't color code because that would just be too much. So this is my March month, and so the next thing I would need to do, and this is how I pre-plan, by the way. I just use Post-it notes and stick it down, and then when the time comes, I write something in there. So that's what that was planning ahead. So what'll go here on this page will be my monthly tasks. You can see how I did that for February. So I'm just going to throw a little bit of washi for some color on the top of the page here. This is some old Cocoa Daisy washi. I've been having fun actually using up my old Cocoa Daisy stuff, just finding different ways to use them than the months that they were intended for, and just making my pages somewhat pretty, but not a whole lot, just a little extra something. So that is that, and I think I want to do, did I do it in color this time? No. Okay. So I'm just going to write, but I'm going to highlight first because I think I want to use this highlighter, this Tombow 243 for the month of February. And you can see here I was trying on an old sheet. I guess that kind of goes a little bit. I don't really, the only other color in Tombow I have is asparagus, and I think that's too dark. This is a mild liner. Let's see. That's closer. And this is a Bic. I think it's going to be too bright. Yeah, too blue. This one's too blue. This one's almost too blue. This one works. Okay, so we'll do the mild liner. Mild liner for the win. So this will be stuff that I want to try to get done in the month of March. It does not necessarily have to be done, but it's, you know, big projects like this. I got this done in February. I can check those off. We are going to be remodeling our kids' bathroom, so I still need to go find tile. So I'm just going to put down here that I want to start the bathroom renovation because I'd really like to get that done before the spring. And this organized recipe printouts, if you could see in my office behind me on the floor is a stack that's about 2 feet high of recipes and index cards and recipe books and things that I need to get organized. I have these really nice A5 size binders. I have, I think 6 or 8 of them that I have all my recipes in, and everything that's on the floor is stuff that needs to go into those binders. And part of the reason I haven't organized them yet is because I'm afraid I'm going to have to go buy new binders, and I just haven't been in the mental capacity to go do that. So, but I'd really like to get that done. And I want to clean out my laundry room pantry. The place where snacks go to die, the laundry room pantry. And the shoe closet. Do you guys have a shoe closet? We have a shoe closet right outside of it, right inside of our back door. And that's where, when the kids were little, all their shoes were kept. And that way we didn't want them tracking upstairs on the carpet, so we made them keep all their shoes down there. Well, now one's in college, one's almost in college, and I still have shoes in there from when they were in middle school. So that's what this project is. I just need to sit down on the floor and pull all those shoes out and probably get rid of most of them. The other place I would look for projects is here, and you can see a lot of these are the same. Yeah, like the tiles, the recipes, a lot of this is the same because last month it all came from this list. So I think that's probably plenty for me to try to tackle. And I need to start planning my daughter's graduation party. We picked a date. Now we need to decide what she wants to do. And we need to finish up her prom prep. And I need to find out when prom is. I don't even know when prom is. It's what happens when they get old enough to manage their own schedules. They forget to tell you. So I need to ask her. I'll make myself a note. And since I did it in hot pink, that'll help me. Okay, so that's my March look ahead, as my husband would call it in his work construction world. So the next thing that I will do is set up my tracker, and I'm going to pull this out because I want to be able to look at what I did in February as I set this up. And I liked how I had my weekends marked off. That kind of helped me figure out where I was in the week. But I think I'm going to do it a little different this month. I think this month I'm just going to outline rather than color it in. So let me do that first. Pardon me, Mr. Planner. And the reason I have this thing down here is not for aesthetics, it's for the glare, because I have a glass top on my desk, and if I had my ring light turned on, and you would have a terrible glare in your eyes. And it's overcast and rainy today, and if I didn't have the ring light, I would not have enough light to film. So I had to get creative. So yeah, that'll help me kind of figure out where my weekends are. Because sometimes I'll go back and fill this in 3 or 4 days at a time. I don't always do it every night. I try to be disciplined about it, but it just depends on how busy I am and how tired I am. I take my planner upstairs with me at the end of the day. I laugh at myself because I have a little Vera Bradley tote that I carry around the house, and I always jokingly in my mind imagine that I'm like Queen Elizabeth. You know, she carries her purse all over the palace supposedly, and so I always kind of in my mind chuckle at myself that I'm like the queen carrying my purse all over the palace. And but in that little tote, I'll stick my planner, I stick my iPad, whatever book I'm reading, my Kindle, my phone, that kind of thing. And then at night when I'm ready to go upstairs, I just carry the little tote bag upstairs. And in the morning when I come back down, I bring it back down. So usually what I do is sit in the bed at night before I go to sleep, and I'll look back at the day, look at my week plans, and then plan out the next day, update my trackers and all of that kind of stuff. So that's what I try to do. Some days I'm better at it than others, and I need something to press down on because I don't want to have this ripple. Let me do this. That will work. Use a notepad. Okay, so first thing I want to track is my sleep. And then I liked having this line to kind of break things up here, so I'm going to just put that in really quick. And then I'll do mood and energy. And what I am trying to find out is there a correlation between mood, energy, sleep, eating, all that kind of thing. So this just kind of helps me look at what's going on. And I'm trying to keep it very simple. And this middle one doesn't necessarily mean like or anything, you know, like you're blah, not feeling good or not happy. It just means I'm okay. Like the happy means it's a really good day and I'm really happy, and you know, this will be one of those days I'll remember. And the other is just a day. It's not a bad day. It's not necessarily a particularly good day. It's just a day. And everybody should have days like that. If you had all good days all the time, then you wouldn't recognize them when they came, right? So to me, that's the middle on this mood. If it was all in the middle, that's not a bad thing. That's what I'm trying to say. So next I'm checking my energy. High, so again, just average, or low, like I'm sick or I'm tired or something like that, which, you know, may or may not be tied to my mood, probably tied to my sleep. So these probably will all be something that feeds into each other. So then looking at what I did for last month, I logged when I did a video, I logged when I did a blog, which you can see I didn't do a blog post, so I'm not sure I'll track that. I might figure out a way to do both of those in one line. I'm trying to be more conscious about keeping up with friends. I didn't do so good in February. I did much better in January. So I think I want to track that a little bit more. Cooking at home, this has been great to kind of help me be more conscious of eating out less. Self-care to me is too ambiguous. I should be doing this every day anyway, so I don't know that I will track that, but I do want to track my vitamin intake. And so what I think I'm going to do is move that up here so it's closer to this stuff, because it's really more related to my health. And I'm also going to, I'm trying to figure out, there may be some other health things that I want to track. So I'm going to put vitamins up here for now. And I'm going to put cooking at home. And I think I'm going to leave off the video and the blog because I'm tracking some of that back in the back of my planner in my social section. So I feel like it's redundant to track it here. Self-care we just talked about, and then catching up with my friends, I'm going to keep that in here because I want to do a better job about that. And I'm going to leave these other three open because I think I want to put some health stuff related in there, but I want to think a little bit more about what it would be, whether it's walking, whether it's tracking my weight. I don't know yet. I have to think about it. Trying to get a handle on my health and really just start to do some things to help me feel better and have more energy. And so I'd like to be more conscious about doing those things. I just need to figure out what things I want to track for the month of March. So this is what I've got for March. I've also thought about highlighting this 8-hour row because that's what my target is for sleep, but I don't want to get this so busy. So I'm going to wait and see. I may or may not do that, but that is my month of March. So I've got my to-do list, I've got my month at a glance, and I've got my tracker. So I'll slip this back in to the planner. And actually I'm going to leave this out because the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at my weeklies. So in my calendar tab, here's my weeklies. This is the end of February. So Monday is the last day of February. I just am gonna, that's why I left this last week of February in here. I will take that out and file it away when I get to that point. I put this in here a while back because I didn't have the March monthly printed out. I don't know that I will use this. I'm not even going to highlight it because I may actually white that out and use this page for something else. But here's my March. So let's start putting down what's going on this week. So I'm taking a class on Wednesday nights. And then my daughter is going to be out of town. I have to let that dry a little bit before I write on it. And then the other thing I do, you can see I've already drawn in the line. This is where I put my meals. But the other thing I'll do is my to-dos, what I'm reading, what I'm watching, and what we're planning to eat. So I'll go ahead and highlight for that. And I'll come back in just a minute and write it down. I found with this gel pen and the highlighters, it's better to let them dry just a little bit. I don't fill out the dailies until the night before, so we'll just jump forward to the next week, and you'll see that I've put a washi tape on every weekly view so it's easy to find as I'm flipping through. You can see they're easy to find that way. So let's see. Got an orthodontist appointment with my daughter on the 8th. And then my oldest daughter has her spring break starting here and moving into the next week. So, see what else is going on that week. That's about it. And then the week of the 21st, my husband, he teaches. He has spring break, so I need to mark that. He only teaches 2 nights a week, so I won't do the whole line. Not a whole lot yet. It's deceptively empty. I'm sure that the month is going to get busier. I've always found that that March and April will start out looking really light and they end up being crazy busy. So I'm not getting excited about this, especially because I know that my youngest daughter is leading up to graduation and she's got a lot of performances with the theater program and things like that going on. So it's going to get busy. I just don't know what yet because I haven't sat down with her. And that's something I'll probably do one night this week is sit down with her and look at her calendar and see what I need to add to my calendar just so I know what's going on for her. She uses Google Calendar for her calendar. She's found that doing things digitally works better for her. So I have asked her to share her Google Calendar with me, which works out really well because then I can just look at that and see what's going on without having to bug her. But she hasn't updated it, so I need to ask her to do that. She had performances this week of a show she was heading up. Oh, dropped my pen. As I was saying, she has a performance this weekend. She's heading up the not costumes, makeup for the show. It's a freshman show, and so she's been a little busy with that, so I haven't had a chance to talk to her. Okay, so and sometimes I do this weeks in advance, this part, and sometimes I just wait and do this part like on Saturday or Sunday before. So now I'm going to put this monthly back where it goes. And then I'll go back and look at this week and what I need to do. So I'll look back at this current week. What did I not get done? Aha, list planners. I'm destashing. And I have a list of planners that I'm going to sell. So I need to get those posted. There, I can check off set up March for this week because that's what I'm doing. and these things, these meals. So I usually carry forward things that we haven't eaten. So taco bowls, and a grilled chicken Caesar salad. And it's actually a pasta salad. It's really good. It was a Cook's Country recipe that has a homemade Caesar dressing. My family actually absolutely loves it. So, yeah. Okay, so I think that is my March setup. I may or may not create a cover page like I did for February. Where's my February? I'll show you what I did for February. I had this really pretty plan with B and the SM plans that I use. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do. I want to look around on the internet and see if I can find a free printable that's got shamrocks or something like that. And that's probably what I'll put in here. And I know what I was going to do with this. I want to make this my one good thing page. So I need to white this out because I've got my to-dos on the other page. And then I will make this my one good thing. So I'll put some washi over that. It'd be nice if I could find a different color washi. Because I already have this washi here. It would look weird being there too. I'll think about that. I'd like to put something over that though. And then I'll use this. Before I commit to the header though, let's do the counting at the days. So how many days are in March? Is it 30 or 31? Does anybody know? 31. There, now I know. And I think I might have dented my tip of my pen when I dropped it. So now I can write my header. So my planner is kind of a combination of a few basic pre-printed pages and then a homegrown bullet journal. So I don't care about, you know, things being perfect. I care about things being functional, and I don't worry too much about like that whiteout up there or anything like that. I may find some cute stickers that I can put on there as I dig through my old Cocoa Daisy stickers, but if not, it's not a big deal. So yeah, that is my March setup. I have a debacle on my desk now, as I usually do whenever I set things up for the month, but I'm happy with how everything looks, and I'm actually pretty happy with this planner. We'll see if the Filofax original continues to be my companion of choice for the month of March, but right now I think I'm pretty happy. It's not too stuffed, and I think if I took this mild liner out and I put my pen there, which I hate sticking these, that's why I use these, because they're smooth. I think if I put that there, it'll be even easier to close. Yeah, awesome. That's great. So yeah, that's my planner for the month of March. Thanks for hanging out with me as I set it up for the month. I hope that you enjoyed it. And if you have any questions about anything that I either didn't share where it came from or why I did it, please feel free to ask in the comments and I will answer whatever you ask. Have a great day, everybody. Take care. Bye.